Good morning, this is Miss Cassidy. Welcome back from spring break. I'm going to be doing a read aloud on the book Serious Trouble by Arthur Howard. And after I do the read aloud, we are going to talk about the benefit of using sticky notes as you read, and we are going to focus on the theme or the author's message of this story. All right, here we go. Serious Trouble. And you can get a clue here. Here's this little boy. His eyes are really wide. He looks like he might be in trouble. He is wrapped in something big and scaly. So I wonder if that is the serious trouble. So I just made a prediction. Here we go. Here's the title page. Oh, I see someone running. All right. We have the dedication page over here and all of that fun stuff. Hopefully that will allow me to continue to read the book. So here we go. All right, here's the fun picture. King Olaf and Queen Olive were serious people. They read serious books. They said serious things. And when they finally had a son, they named him the most serious name they could think of, Ernest. He'll be just like us, the king told the queen. And notice she's reading a book called The Extra Grim Fairy Tales. All right, everyone looks pretty serious. I am going to put a sticky note here because I want to know what is the meaning of the word earnest. Here we go. But the queen had serious doubts. You better have a talk with him, she told her husband. A serious talk. Let's see why she wants him to have a serious talk. All right. It looks like they're going to do a duel. And here is Ernest. He's got a boot on his head, an umbrella, and he's riding a horse. So I'm going to put a sticky note there. So, right after lunch, the king said, Son, one day you will be king, and being king is no laughing matter. I don't want to be king, said Ernest. Nonsense, replied his royal highness. Everyone wants to be king. Not me. I want to be a jester. A jester? You know, someone who makes people laugh. Uh-oh. This is no time to be funny, roared His Majesty. We have a serious problem around here, a fire-breathing, people-eating, three-headed dragon. A dragon was certainly nothing to laugh about. Even Ernest knew that. Here we go. Still, he wanted to try being a jester at least once, so the next day he tiptoed past the royal guard. Okay, he's hiding in this giant helmet. He slid down the royal banister and rushed outside. He had a couple of jokes he wanted to tell, and all he needed was an audience. As it turned out, he didn't have to look very hard, for suddenly, dun dun dun, he was face to face with a fire-breathing, people-eating, three-headed dragon. Ernest was so scared he couldn't say a word. The dragon, on the other hand, was surprisingly talkative. I'm Snaggle, said the head with the longest fangs. I'm Snuffle, said the head with the reddest snout. I'm Snide, said the head with the sharpest tongue. And I'm gonna gobble you up. Please don't, begged Ernest. Uh-oh. I'm gonna put a little sticky note here so I can go back to that. "Oh, yes, I will," said Snaggle. "Oh, no, you won't," said Snuffle. "Maybe we will and maybe we won't," said Snide. Like so many three-headed creatures, this dragon could never make up its minds. It couldn't decide when to go to bed, who to have for lunch, or even what to call itself. Me, us, or hey you. While the dragon bickered amongst itself, Ernest ran away. It actually said he dashed away. Okay. But he didn't get far. We've seen this picture before. "Tell us a little about yourself," said Snide. "I like to know what I'm eating." Uh-oh. Okay, so here's the dragons. They have their tail around him. "Well," said Ernest, "I'm a jester." "You, a jester?" said Snaggle. "Don't make me laugh." "But I can make you laugh," said Ernest. "I really can." "Impossible," said Snuffle. "We haven't laughed in 1,000 years." That gave Ernest an idea. If I make you laugh, will you let me go?" "He must be mad," said Snaggle. "He must be tasty," said Snuffle. "He could be funny," said Snide. "We'll give you 2 chances. Okay, maybe 3 chances. 2 or 3 chances." Okay. So, Ernest started with a funny face. "Bleh." "Not funny enough," snarled Snaggle. "Not monstrous enough," snorted Snuffle. "Quit while you're ahead," snapped Snide. I think this is funny. It says a head. Quit while you're ahead. Get it? Your head. So, Ernest tried to flip, but the flip was a flop. "I'm getting headaches," said Snaggle. "I'm getting bored," said Snuffle. "I'm getting very, very hungry," said Snide. So things are not working. Uh-oh, that's a giant foot. I wonder what these rings are. Ernest had 1 chance left, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't think of anything funny. "I should have stayed home to just be a king," he said to himself. The dragon, meanwhile, was getting impatient. It gnashed its teeth. It blew smoke rings. Oh, that must be what these are. And it tapped its hairy toes. Those toes gave Ernest an idea. What do you guys think? Can we make a prediction? The toes gave him an idea. He's trying to make the dragon laugh. Tickling! Toes and tickling, they go together. And before you could say Snaggle, Snuffle, and Snide, that dragon was laughing so hard, huge tears poured down its snouts. "Please, please, please," it cried, "no more tickling." "Only if you stop gobbling people up," said Ernest, to which the dragons said, "We promise!" Yippee! Wow, it looks like, I'm going to put a little sticky note here. What happened next? Some people say Ernest ran all the way back to the castle and was never funny again. He read serious books, said serious things, and never ever got into trouble. And then it says he's reading a book, How to Lose Wit. Wonder what wit is. Apparently he needs to lose it. But others insist the tale ends quite differently. They say that Ernest got home, told his parents all about the dragon. As you can imagine, their majesties were delighted. Look, there's a smile. "And it promised not to gobble up any more people." "This calls for a celebration," said the king. So, Ernest put on a show for them. He flipped without flopping. He joked without stopping. Knock, knock. He even juggled without dropping. And for the grand finale, dun dun dun, he shared the spotlight with a friend of his. Which version of the story is true? As the dragon might say, I'll give you 2 guesses, or maybe 3. Hee hee hee. All right, so we need to figure out what is the author's message. I'm going to go back and we're going to look at some of these sticky notes that I put in here. I call them stop and jots. They are little helpers, little tools that help me go back into the story to help me understand the story better. So it says, what is the meaning of the word earnest? Now, in the story, it said that the king and queen were very serious people. They read serious books. They did serious things. So I'm going to guess that they named their son Ernest because earnest means serious. Another word for serious would be determined. Okay, so I found out what the word earnest means. A serious kid. Now we find out he's not a very serious kid. All right, the next sticky note I did is, why did the queen have doubts? I had a question. So why did the queen have doubts? Well, we talked about this a little bit. Here's the son. He's got a boot on his head for a hat, an umbrella, and he's riding a stick horse. And then look at him compared to this guy. This guy is serious, and he's kind of like, what's going on here? Right? Okay. So she's having doubts because if you were a betting person, which one do you think would win? Probably this guy. He looks bigger, better, faster, stronger. All right. We find out that there's a problem here. The problem is that the king and the queen are telling him, hey, we need you to be the king one day, and so that's a very serious thing. And he says, well, I don't want to be king. I want to be a jester. And they're like, what? And so it tells you, a jester, someone who makes people laugh. So we know what a jester is. So that's a problem because the kingdom has a fire-breathing, people-eating, 3-headed dragon. That's a big problem. Okay, is a jester going to be able to help solve that problem? All right, so he escapes and he actually finds the 3-headed dragon. The funny thing, I put a question mark for problem because they also have a problem. Their problem is they can't really agree. There's 3 of them and they're having trouble making a decision. Snaggle, snuffle, and snide. All right. Now, they are thinking, hey, we should do what dragons do and eat this guy. But they decide to give him a chance. He runs away. They catch him and they go, all right, we want to find out more about you. And he said, hey, I can make you laugh. They go, okay, we'll give you 2 chances. Well, maybe 3 because they're having trouble making decisions. So he tries to be funny and that's not working until he comes up with an idea. The clue was the toes. And he started tickling them. All right. So the solution to making these guys laugh was tickling their toes. And the dragon said, stop! And so he goes, okay, well, I'll stop if you promise to not eat any more people. So that's the solution. So this guy was able to solve the problem of the 3-headed dragon eating people by tickling its toes. All right. Now, in the first ending that they gave us, It said how to lose wit. And basically this was kind of the boring ending. It said, then he went home and he was never funny again. And he read serious books and became a serious person. And he read this book, How to Lose Wit. I wanted to know, what is wit? Well, I'm going to guess that wit is how to be funny, how to be humorous and amuse other people. He needed to lose that. Well, that was just one ending. But the ending I really like is this one. He tells his mom and dad, hey, I was able to solve the problem of the dragons. And then they said, yay, let's celebrate. And he showed them how good he was at amusing other people. And then he even brought his friends who played some music, even the dog with the triangle. And they said, which version of the story is true? As the dragon might say, I'll give you 2 guesses or 3. All right. I'm going to guess that the last ending is true. So the last thing on here is, what is the author's message? What was this story mostly about? And I would have to say that I think that this story is about him being true to himself and saving the kingdom, right? He didn't have to be serious, and he didn't have to kill the dragons. He was able to solve this problem by being himself and being witty and being a jester and being true to himself. So I think that the theme or the message that the author Howard is trying to teach you is that you need to be true to yourself and you can still solve your problems. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this read aloud. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.